guys, my name is Andy and welcome to Namaste at Home Yoga. Today's practice might be a little bit different, might be a little bit unfamiliar. I'm going to go through what I learned as like a more traditional Hatha practice. We're going to slow things down a bit. Most of the postures will aim to hold for 5 to 7 breaths is what I wanted to go for there. I'm going to be counting roughly at the pace of my breathing, but of course everyone will be moving at their own pace and breathing at their own pace. So it might be a little bit different for you, but the purpose of the longer hold is to cultivate a little bit more mindfulness, a little bit more awareness of what's going on in the body in each posture that we make our way through, and how it's feeling for us, whether it's a stronger sensation, really uplifting, or if it's a challenge. So I'll invite you to really check in with yourself as we make our way through. And no worries if we're moving at different paces, just take your time and we'll always meet back at some point. So you can grab your mat, find a seat, find a comfortable cross-legged position, and we'll take a couple moments here to check in, to start to bring about that mindfulness, starting with this easy seated posture. Not necessarily easy for everybody, but that's one of its names, actually, of this posture in particular. Allow yourself to grow tall. Crown reaches towards the sky. And to help us with our check-in, we can allow the gaze to soften or allow the eyes to close. If there is a hand position or mudra that you would like to take, you're welcome to. Palms facing the earth to bring a sensation of groundedness. Maybe palms open towards the sky for openness. Noticing the breath as it flows through the body. Don't worry about changing anything about it just yet. Just see where it moves, how it moves, how you feel with that. Bringing to mind a focus for your practice today. Knowing that we're going to be going a little bit slower, maybe it's something like patience, endurance, or simply breath. Finding whatever is jumping out at you, and just bring that to the forefront of your mind. As we start to deepen our breath, feel the belly fill, feel the chest fill. And allowing that to slowly pour out on your exhales. Inhaling, filling through the belly, through the chest. Exhale, let it fall out. Each inhale brings you a little bit taller, a little bit lighter. Exhale is just feeling your sit bones grounded, feeling yourself centered. If it's comfortable for you during this practice, I will encourage you to breathe in and out through the nose, keeping the mouth sealed. And let's float hands through the center of the chest. Chin can come down, softly opening the eyes. Gentle start. Let's find our way into our tabletop. Hands coming to rest under shoulders, knees under hips. Moving through our cat-cow as we inhale to drop that belly. Head, chest, and hips are lifting. As we exhale, pressing through hands and knees around the spine. Inhale, head, chest, hips. Exhale, round. One more. Inhale. Expand. Firm, grounded as we round. Can allow the hips to start to sink back towards your heels, taking a child's pose. Arms can stay outstretched, forehead melts towards the earth. If it doesn't quite reach, feel free to rest it on stacked palms or stacked fists. Know that this is a nice posture to return to if you need a change of pace, if you need to slow things down. Allowing your hips to get a little heavier with your exhales. Starting to invite some space through the side of the body. We'll walk the hands over towards the right side of your mat. You can stack them palm over palm. With your exhale, send your hips back and away. Allowing the neck to stay long as we find some stretch sensations and lengthening through the left side of the body. Over your next breath or so, we'll walk the hands over to the left side of our mat. Same thing here, we're planting palm over palm, starting to send the hips back and away with our exhales. Inhaling length and space through the right side of the body. We'll find our way back through center. Inhale, float through your tabletop. Then exhale, go ahead and find your way into a down dog. Taking a moment to pedal it out here. Weight shift however you need so that this feels comfortable. Starting to wake the body up to some different movements. Well, let's open up the shoulders a little bit more. Bend your knees as much as you need to as we bring our forearms to rest on the mat. Exhale, start to send the chest back towards the thighs. One more breath here. You can find your way back up to your hands. Settle into your down dog. Let's start to fire up the core a little bit. An inhale shifts you forward, finding a high plank. Shoulders stack over wrists. Fingers spread wide. Core stays really strong here. Belly button pulls in towards the spine. Holding strong for 3. For 2. And 1. Exhale, sends your hips back. Let's find an inhale to lift the right leg high. Stepping between the hands. Coming into a low lunge, we'll drop the back knee and untuck the toes to lift through the chest. Allow that tailbone to tuck under as we sink towards the mat. Hands can find their way through center. Maybe overhead, palms touching or hands shoulder width. Few breaths here. Noticing where our weight wants to rest. Are we shifting towards one side or the other? How the balance changes if we lift the gaze slightly or even close the eyes. Where are we feeling openness? As we exhale, we'll bring the hands back to the mat. Let's heel toe the foot to the outside edge. Both hands can rest to the inside. Start to draw the chest forward. Keep it proud for now. Drawing kind of forward and up. Hands can rest as they are. You can find a bend to the arms, maybe coming down to forearms. Keeping that front leg engaged. That knee might want to open up to the side. Keep all four corners of your foot pressing into your mat. Where does this one really sit with you? Whether you're feeling a stretch sensation, a little bit of a muscle shake, some activation. And then take your time, find your way back into a down dog. Moving through our second side, left leg inhales to lift. Stepping between the hands. Drop that back knee, setting up for our low lunge. Toes untuck, we lift. Hands coming to rest. Back at center or overhead. As the tailbone tucks. Each exhale maybe lets us sink, get a little bit more grounded. Inhales, inspiring some lift, some light. Changing that gaze, finding a bit of a lift if it feels okay. Or try closing the eyes for a breath or so. Notice where you're holding on, where you need to maintain the balance. Also noticing where we can let go. Nicely done. With an exhale, hands can find the mat. Let's bring the foot to the outside edge as hands plant just on the inside of it. Draw that chest forward and up. Allow your hips to drop. They can be heavy. Resting here. We're starting to find that bend to the elbows, maybe coming to forearms. Hug that left knee in towards you. Keeping a little bit of activity. How are we feeling here? Does a deeper breath bring about more ease? Wonderful. If you're on forearms, find your way back up to hands, and we'll make our way back to a downward dog. Taking a moment to pedal it out if you need. And then we'll start to walk our feet up towards our hands, meeting near the top of the mat for a forward fold. Feet coming to rest about hip distance. Allow the upper body to release, to let go. Head hangs heavy. If you need to, you can give the head a little bit of a gentle shake side to side or a nod yes. Releasing that tension from the upper back, from the neck, from the shoulders. You can almost imagine it dripping out of the top of your head like honey.
Keep that generous bend in the knees. We start to walk our hands over towards the right side of your mat or to your right leg. How does that change our sensation? Breathing into those spots of increased sensation. Finding our way through center over to the left side of the mat. Over to your left leg. Where do we let go here? Smoothing the forehead. Gently parting the teeth to relax the jaw. And then we'll find our way through center. Bend the knees. Roll it up to stand. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Head comes up last. Find the center of your feet when you're up to stand. Give yourself a rock forward and back. Maybe picking the toes up. Spread them out wide. Find that solid base of support. Open up the shoulders. Palms face forward. Resting in mountain pose or Tadasana. Inhales allow you to grow tall. Exhales, feeling that firm balance through your feet into your mat. Remembering the sensation because we will be coming back to it later on in our practice. Important as we move through our balance postures. For now, moving through a couple of sun salutations, we'll inhale to sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward, come on down. Inhale, half lift, hands find the legs. Exhaling, hands pull out, step back to, step the right foot back. Setting up for a lunge. Inhale to lift. Arms are your choice. Breath to hold. Next exhale, lowers, frames the foot, step back, down dog. This time as we inhale, we're going to bend the knees. Allow the chin and chest to find the mat. Chest comes as close as it can to the knees without lifting off. Shoulders away from the ears. And then we'll unduck the toes, draw the chest forward and up. Baby cobra, half lift. Exhale to press back, find your down dog. Right leg inhales to lift. Stepping between the hands. Crescent lunge, press up. Find a spot for the hands to rest. Next, exhale, frame the foot, step forward, folds. Inhale, come up. Next, inhale, sweeps the arms open, small optional back bend. Exhaling, hands through center. Other side, we inhale, open. Exhale to fold. Inhale, hands find the shins, half lift. Exhaling, hands plant, left foot steps back, crescent lunge. Inhale, rise. Exhale, frame. Step it back, down dog. This time we'll inhale, shift forward through your plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. Hips stay high. Inhale, draw forward and up. Exhale, come on back. Down dog. Inhale, left leg high. Stepping between hands. Press up, crescent lunge with an inhale. Exhale, lower, frame, step forward. Rolling up. Next breath in allows the arms to sweep wide, open up. Exhaling center. Taking a moment to pause, either with hands through center, or maybe hands coming back to either side, finding our mountain pose. How is the breath feeling? How is it flowing through the body? I know I mentioned at the start of the practice, each posture we'd hold for 5 to 7 breaths. As we move through sun salutations, it's a little bit different. We're going more for 1 breath per movement. Now that we're a little bit more familiar, we're going to kind of keep that pace, but I'll encourage you to keep moving with your breath, however it feels all right for you. Keeping feet hip distance, or maybe coming feet together to challenge the balance a little more. If you do, big toes touch, heels rest an inch or 2 apart, just to keep the toes pointed straight forward on your mat. Let's keep things moving here with an inhale, sweep open. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant, right foot comes back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Come on back, down dog. Inhale, finds a plank. Exhale, lower knees, chin and chest. Inhale, draws forward and up. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right foot lifts. Step between hands. Inhale, rise. Exhale, frame. Stepping forward. Come on up, take it easy. Big breath in as we sweep those arms wide. Exhale, center. Moving through our second side, fill up, open up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhaling, plant, left foot steps back. Inhale, rise. Exhale, frame. Come on back, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, come on back. Inhale, left leg. Stepping between hands. Inhale, rise. Exhale, frame. Finding that forward fold. We'll make our way back up. Take your time. With an inhale, opening up, optional back bend. Exhaling, hands through center. Opening up to either side. Find a deep inhale here. Exhale, let that go. One more, fill it up. Exhale, let it go. Wonderful. Let's catch the hips. We're going to shift our weight over to our right foot. Opening the left knee to the side. You can let that foot rest on the mat or grow tall through your crown. Find an inhale, lifting your foot to the inner edge of the right leg. It might rest on the upper inner thigh, maybe on the inner calf. Finding a spot above or below the knee joint. Creating tension between the legs, pressing foot into leg, leg into foot. Hands find a spot to rest. Somewhere that you can allow the chest to open, expand with breaths in. Feeling your foot rooted into the ground with your exhales.
we'll find an inhale to bring that knee forward. Exhale, release. Shifting over to our second side, over to the left leg here. Right knee can open up. Toes can rest on the mat. Or we inhale to lift, creating that tension between the legs, building strength. Inhales to grow taller. Exhale, let your roots grow deep into the earth. Feeling yourself connected, strong, balanced. If you fall out of these, no worry, you can always come back in. We'll find an inhale to draw that knee forward. Exhale, releasing back to the mat. Fantastic. Let's release arms down to the sides here. Find an inhale to sweep open. Exhale, float through center. One more inhale, sweep. Exhale through center, finding a seat. Hips are sitting back and down. Crown of the head grows tall. Allowing weight to shift back into your heels. Toes are light. Core strong and engaged. Got a couple more breaths here. How does that feel? Do the knees want to shift in or out? Do they want to drift forward? So strong with that breath. Maybe exhales begin to challenge our depth. Inhale, come on, back up. Exhaling, we can catch the hips, step the right foot back on your mat. Finding a 45-degree angle of the foot. Hips square towards the front of the mat. Let's find our lunge into the left knee, setting up for warrior one. Core stays so strong. Maybe allowing hands to find their way through center or back overhead. Again, here I'll encourage you to check in with the body. Are we shifting more to our back foot or front foot? Can we bring that weight into the middle? So we draw our left hip back, right hip forward. How is your breath flowing here? Does this posture change it at all? Wonderful. As we inhale, we'll stand, open up to the side. Heel toe your right foot back. Bringing your foot parallel with the short edge, setting up for warrior two. We'll exhale to find a lunge. Arms get light in line with the shoulders. You can lunge as much or as little as you want. Just keeping that alignment. Knee stacking over your front foot, front ankle. Allowing all four corners of that foot to press down firmly. Pressing down through the pinky edge of your back foot. And we feel where our body is building heat as the muscles are working. Finding that engagement. Maybe coming back to your word. Next exhale, we're going to windmill those arms down, frame your foot, step forward, forward fold. Enjoying a couple of breaths here, really allowing the head to let go. Maybe finding a gentle sway side to side. Think about inhales to lengthen a little bit through the crown of the head.
Exhales to send your sit bones high. Maintaining a micro bend in the knees or more of a bend if you need it. Noticing where we feel that sensation through the back of the legs. Beautiful. Let's make our way back up to stand.
Inhale, sweeps the arms overhead. Exhale through center.
You can catch hips, and this time stepping back with your left foot. Finding your 45-degree angle. Hips facing the front of the mat. Let's find our bend, our lunge into that right knee. Find your hands a resting place. And then tuning into the posture. Feeling engagement through the core, through the trunk. Feeling the bottom half of our bodies grounding down, connected with the earth. The upper half light, lifting. Settling into this activation. Finding another deep breath. Wonderful. As we inhale, we'll straighten the right leg, heel toe your left foot back. Exhale to settle down into your warrior two. Again, finding that length. Growing tall through the crown of the head. Equal pressure through front and back foot. Arms are light, but if the shoulders need a rest, hands can always catch hips or float through center. Where do we find our tension? Muscular engagement. Can we feel our heartbeat strong in the center of our chest? Supplying the rest of our body with fresh oxygenated blood to help it keep moving. Next exhale, go ahead, windmill those arms down, frame the foot. Stepping forward, forward fold. This time, heel toe the feet mat width apart. Allow yourself to ragdoll forward once more. What does this wider stance change? Maybe we bring the peace fingers, index and middle, to grab big toes, thumbs pointing forward. Allowing ourselves to fold forward, elbows can kind of wing out to the sides if there's room to bend. Releasing that tension through the back of the neck once more. And release that grip. If you have it, turn the toes out at 45 degrees. Send the hips low, finding our yogi squat. Elbows can find the insides of knees. Hands through center. Drawing your chest forward and up. Keep it proud, keep it tall here. You may need to adjust your stance, feel free. Heels might be lifted, hips might not be all the way down yet, and that's perfectly fine. Appreciating where you're at in the process, appreciating the challenge. Don't worry about any end goal.
Let's use the hands however you need to find your way into a seat. Legs out straight in front of you. Find that tall spine. Remove the fleshy parts under the sit bones here so you can really get grounded. Allow yourself to get tall. Spend a few breaths here. Crown reaches towards the sky. Shoulder blades pull back and together, opening up through the front of the chest. Noticing if there's already some areas with more tension. If we have space for full breaths, that chin is really starting to lift, or if it's really tucked, find a neutral spot. Maybe a point in front of you to direct the gaze. Wonderful. And with your next couple of exhales, start to walk yourself forward here. Might be a little bit of a move, it might be a lot. Each exhale invites a little bit more space. Releases a little bit of tension. Noticing from sitting up to allowing the back to round a bit. How the sensation changes. What's new here? Listening if the body is saying too much or too little. Tuning into where we're still holding tension, maybe in the ankles, back to the hips, between the shoulder blades, in the forehead, back of the neck, even in the hands. Find your next couple of breaths to make your way back up. It's a really nice opening through the back body. We're going to bring that more in through the front body next. You can make your way onto your stomach. I'll do the best I can with the space that I have. We're going to send legs out back behind you. Toes untucked, tops of feet resting on your mat. Hands coming to rest under the shoulders. Strengthening through the spine, we'll find an inhale to lift the head and chest. Hands just get light here. If shoulders are sneaking up towards the ears, let's send them away. And gaze just lifts slightly, maybe to the top of your mat or just in front of it. Allowing us to maintain our long spine. Got just a couple more breaths. You're doing great. Exhaling to find the mat once more. Inhale, lift back up, and exhale to press through palms. Maybe we start to walk the hands forward, finding a little bit more lift, a little bit more expansion. Come to the elbows if it's too much. You're craving a little bit more. Hands stay closer towards you. Allowing shoulders to melt away from the ears. Hips are heavy. Chest is proud, neck long. Now our gaze, our focus point, can shift from slightly in front of the mat to maybe right ahead of us, depending on what the back is allowing today. With an exhale, gently release. Get strong through the core. Inhale, press through tabletop. exhale, find a child's pose. Hips sink back towards heels, forehead heavy. The shoulders are creating more of a break. Send them back past the feet, past the heels. Letting the upper back round. Just let gravity work for you. How is this child's pose feeling? How is it sitting? Does this allow us to reconnect with the breath? Maybe to massage the forehead by gently rocking it back and forth on the mat. Can we feel grounded here, heavy here, connected? Coming back to that focus word, whatever you chose at the start of class. We'll come back up to a seated position. Go ahead and send your legs out in front of you. You can sweep them over one side or the other. Foot soles can come to rest on the mat. Chest is drawn tall. As we start to walk our weight back slowly, hands can assist with some balance on your mat or lift. You can also catch the backs of the hamstrings for a little bit more support. Either way, allow those shoulder blades to draw together. Feet might stay light on your mat. They may come to a hover. Maybe they straighten all the way. But keeping that spine tall. If you saw my back wanted to dip a little bit just there, maybe that's too much for me today to go fully straight through the legs. We'll find our way to our backs. Roll it down. Tuck those knees in towards you. Give yourself a squeeze, maybe a rock. Releasing feet down to the mat. Continuing to open a little bit through our front body. We'll make our way into a bridge pose. You can bring heels close enough that you can just touch them with your fingertips. Toes and knees pointing the same direction, about hip distance apart. Hands plant. We'll inhale to lift hips. Exhale, press down through the feet. Engaging with the glutes. Finding lift, lightness in the hips. And keeping the legs hip distance apart, you can think about activating them like you're squeezing an invisible block between them. How does that feel? How does that lift in the hips? Maybe a little bit more constriction in the front of the throat. How does that affect the breath? Got a couple more here. We're almost there. Breathe through it. And use your next exhale to roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Hips come to rest last. Let's walk toes and heels, foot soles together. Let the knees open up to either side like an open book for a climb to cobbler's pose. If you're craving a little bit more openness through the front of the hips, you can give the glutes a gentle squeeze and release. Hands are resting wherever feels right, wherever feels good here. Gently settling on the inner thighs. Opening up to the sides or maybe overhead. Or we can reconnect with the breath. One hand on the chest, one hand on the belly. Noticing where you're feeling solid in your mat, where there's space between you and the earth. And allowing hands to find the outsides of the knees, helping the legs close like a book. Let's send the legs out long, opening the arms up to a T or goalposts if you don't quite have space. Inhale to lift the right leg high. Exhale, finding a twist. Let it fall over towards the left side of the room. Maybe we allow that knee to bend. If it doesn't quite touch the mat or touch the ground today, no stress, no worries. You can prop the leg or support it with cushions or blocks if that is more comfortable. Just got a couple more breaths settling in here. Then find an inhale to come back through center. Exhale, release. Inhaling, left leg finds its way high. Exhale, send it over, just gently, slowly into your twist. Knee can bend if that feels better, a little bit less intensity, less pressure. Allowing the shoulder blades to just feel so heavy here. Let them melt. Engaging our core, we'll inhale, pull back through center. Exhale to lower and find a nice big full body stretch, zipping those legs together, arms reach overhead, big breath in. As we exhale and forming a little ball here, knees to chest, maybe forehead to knees. Exhale, rinse out the lungs. Opening up onto your back. We'll find a few moments in Shavasana, our final posture for today's practice. Letting go of the need to move, to be active. Letting go of tension. Allowing your breath to return to its deep, full, smooth pace, rhythm. It's really challenging sometimes to be fully still, to really rest. We rarely take time in our busy days to do so. So soak it in this moment right now. Someone literally telling you to do nothing. How nice is that? We'll come back to our space by gently wiggling fingers and toes. Small movements to wrists and ankles. Maybe rocking the head side to side a little bit. Massage at the base of the skull. You're going to draw knees in towards the chest once more. Give yourself that little squeeze and roll over to your right side to find your way back up to a comfortable seat. We checked in here at the start of practice. It's been a full one. So let's reassess. Sit bones get heavy, spine grows tall. Are lungs more open to being more open? That sounds kind of strange, but is it easier to let the breath flow so smoothly? Each one to be so full, uninhibited. Have we created some space? Or tried something new, noticed something different? We'll take one breath together here. Deep inhale, fill the lungs up. Big sigh out the mouth. Hands can float through center as chin drops down to chest, softly opening our eyes. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. This is one that is certainly near and dear to me from my first experience in my yoga teacher training when I did my original 200 hours. So yeah, thank you for giving it a try, for moving through with me, and we'll see you again soon. Namaste.
You having a good time?